Hi, this is Brother Scott with my second installment of a short look in the book. This is actually a follow-up to my first one, which asked the question, is turn or burn biblical? Well, the biblical answer to is turn or burn biblical is yes and no. That is where rightly dividing the word of truth comes in, 2 Timothy 2:15, and the word of truth is the gospel of your salvation, Ephesians 1:13. We divide the word of truth before the cross from the word of truth at and after the cross. Before the cross, salvation for Israel was a maintenance plan of keeping the law, that is, commandments of God. At the cross, the world's sins were forgiven, 2 Corinthians 5:19, which we know because God reconciled himself to the world at the cross, and of course, he could not reconcile himself to sin. We pause here to state that many conflate forgiveness with salvation, and they are not the same. Forgiveness for the world happened at the cross. But because forgiveness does not clear the guilty, Exodus 34:7, an important point, the world was not justified at the cross. God reconciled himself to us at the cross. Now, after the cross, we're to reconcile ourselves to him in order to be justified. 2 Corinthians 5:20. In order to reconcile ourselves to God, isn't it wonderful that God granted us that ability, by the way? We are to believe and trust in what our Apostle Paul declares unto us is the gospel that saves today, which he wrote in 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. And we are to believe and trust in that alone for our salvation. And that is Christ's death, burial, and resurrection. At that moment, a person is sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise, Ephesians 1:12-13. And naturally, God's seal cannot be broken. It's important to note that the wages of sin is death, Romans 6:23, and we all know Christ paid the wages with his life in our place. And now we are saved by faith alone, Ephesians 2:8-9, and no works of the flesh of any kind are required. So turn or burn does not, I repeat, does not apply today. My prayer is that you grab a King James Bible and look all these verses up and study them out for yourself. Today can be your day of salvation if you so choose. Grace and peace.